Good morning. Every month, Qigong for Wellness runs a day which is a kind of retreat but with a difference, and calls it the extraordinary within the ordinary. During that day, participants check in for a Qigong online session that varies between half an hour and 40 minutes. This is a video of the first session of the day. It relates to the elements of metal and earth, which on the traditional Chinese medical clock are between 7 and 9, and a little bit beyond that as well, but our session is usually between 7 and 8 in the morning. And here's what we do, in case you would like to follow along on this YouTube video. So the first thing that we do is we check into ourselves. So we meet ourselves in a place of relative silence without disturbance. And a good way to do that is just to ask ourselves how we are. And we could drop down to the lower belly, and we could feel the breath in the lower belly and the top of the head ascending towards sky. And thinking about this on the Chinese medical clock as the time of earth and the transition from metal to earth. Just thinking about the boundaries of us, our skin, feeling the clothing on the skin. Feeling the breath, the air, and then feeling our actual earth, so the chair underneath us, the floor underneath us, our tailbone perhaps going down into earth, so finding our ground. And in this morning practice, we then start to communicate with the body through touch and feel the body talking back through us with sensations. So we take the palms together in front of the heart center as if warming the hands, and start rubbing them together on the heart fire. And really feel the sensation, slow down a bit maybe, of skin against skin, and how you're creating the sensation and the body is feeding back to you how it feels. And then take the warmed hands around the back of the neck. Have the image of having two warmed flannels washing around the back of your neck, and once again really tuning into that area. How does it feel? How is that different in sensations from rubbing the hands? And a lot of resting and reflection. How does that feel? Tipping the head over, ear to shoulder, and taking one hand and up to the top of the shoulder, and maybe supporting the elbow there, and just doing some squeezing if that's comfortable, or rubbing, some work on that big muscle at the top of the shoulder. And feeling how that is, observing how it is. And then letting that arm go and squeezing all the way down to the hand and out 3 times. Change to the other side, stretching the neck, squeezing. And sometimes on the extraordinary, in the ordinary days, we just stop and explore some of the acupuncture points that may be appropriate first thing in the morning. I'll just explore a couple of them here now to give you a flavour. So we might stop here at an area called Cubic Marsh, Good in acupuncture, acupressure for expelling phlegm, so very good in the morning. And if we feel like coughing or making a sound, then that's all good. Once again, resting, feeling the body speak to you in sensations. Taking your hands and placing them on the little dip in front of the collarbones, a site called Celestial Chimney. Just imagining the pot or fire in your belly, the pot with rice in it, and then the chimney, celestial chimney here, placing your hands. And then sweep your hands down the centre of you to the lower belly like this, in a constant flow, smoothing down. Once again, placing your hands on your legs, perhaps relaxed, or you could place your hands on the lower belly, just play with how it is, and feeling how that is. Sweeping your hands around to the back of waist area, giving your kidneys a little bit of a rub, wherever you perceive them to be, back of the waist. And in the centre of those 2 points, right at the back of the waist, a very important point connected with willpower. So first thing in the morning, waking up the willpower for the day. Working on down through the body, and on the retreat days we would spend a bit longer on this, but exploring how it is to rub your knees. What's the sensation going on there? To the other side. How is that? How is it for your hands? How is it for your knees? We'll just explore one position for bringing the energy down through the body. Good for overthinking. The fingers tuck in to the back of the kneecaps. The kneecaps. A point there called bend in the middle in translation. And move the head forward so you get centre of forehead, knee, knee, like a triangle. And that just draws the energy down from the head. So if you've got a headache or if you're overthinking something, just breathing in this position for a few moments could change everything. While we're here, just move the hands to just below the inside of the kneecaps, there, the knees. Yin Valley, this point, so Yin Valley, very restful to hold this. All the time exploring, how does that feel? How does it feel where I'm touching the body? How does it feel elsewhere? Can you feel that anywhere else? And then coming to a corresponding point outside of the knees, down a bit. You'll find a dip called 3 Mile, and just tapping that, or Yang Mound is another point around there, suggesting that this is more to do with activity and yang. If you're okay, then give yourself a bit of a back stretch and go all the way down, tapping, slowly come up, see how that is. And then finally just dropping one foot on the other foot, like this foot is a big cat's paw. Just really relax that foot on the top of the other one and see how that is. What effect does that have on you? And the other way. And sitting for a moment, and just sitting with the body. Whether or not you're a Chinese medical, Oriental medical practitioner, exploring what the element of earth means for you. What does that mean? Earth, when I say earth. Maybe thinking about metal, how does that feel? And during the day we do a lot of reflections and journaling to find out what our particular medicine is. Elementally, what makeup are we? How can we rebalance? We come into a standing position. So we know the standing position for Qigong, feet parallel, knees soft, tail tucked under, a little bit of space between the arms and the sides of the body, and top of the head reaching towards the sky. Standing for some time, finding your ground and landing in this position. And then continuing with our conversation with the body, we do some do-in, some tapping. So we've kind of addressed the top of the body with our self-massage, but we could go back and do some tapping like this. I'm not going to do this, but these are just suggestions. If that feels good, maybe around the top of the head. But I'm going to focus on the lower body because we've kind of done the upper body in a seated position. So tapping now around the glutes and around the tailbone and the sacrum. The lower body perhaps appreciating a more yang approach. And then down the sides of the legs, once again, tapping down the outside, up the inside, a few times, enlivening the legs. Feeling how that is for you, and then maybe going into a little bit of rotation, really feeling the top of the head elevating towards the sky, the tailbone into the earth, and moving around the up and down of you as if your arms were like elephant trunks. And then pausing for a moment and seeing how that is for you. And then we're in the time of metal, and so we'll do a metal warm up here, stepping forward, opening. The metal colour is white, so we imagine taking white into our bodies, and as we come back we let the arms just swing to our sides and we sound S, 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 the sound of metal. Once again, stepping forward, opening to the colour white or silver on your in-breath. On your longest out-breath, the sound S. And there are many ways to do this. It's just one chosen suggestion. Breathing in and following the out-breath. Stopping for a moment, feeling the medicine of that particular movement. All the time reflecting, how is that for me? Is it something I want to include in my day, etc. And then we're going to do a little bit of Qigong with weights. So the earth element is reflected in our muscles, our flesh. We literally are the earth in a way. And so doing some work with weights, even imaginary weights, like I'm holding a weight, sparks the earth element or calls it in. So at this time, we will be doing this UK time between 7 and 8. The earth element is available to us. There's plenty of earthy energy. So we do weights. So participants are usually asked to find a stone that they're comfortable with to place in their hand or hands. You can do it with 2 weights. I'm going to use an orange so you can see where the weight is at any particular time. And what's important is to just know that this is also part of the earth, whatever it is. It's part of the earth just as you are. So place it against your lower belly. And this is an orange, but for a moment I'm going to forget that it's called orange, and I'm just going to tune into it and see, without its name, what other qualities it might have or want to share with me. However we do that, and however long we do it for, it's just a change of consciousness, our nervous system shifts slightly, connectedness. And then we would do some Qigong with this weight, with a weight. So still staying in tune with your body, and now with the item you're holding, let the arms go down, and we do something called passing the pearl. So we're literally passing, opening here, the chest, that's the in-breath, and the rest is the out-breath. Following your in-breath, following your out-breath, nothing else doing. It's following your breath, holding the shape. Following it maybe round the other way. And then bringing the shape back to the lower belly, your full attention on that connection. And then taking one hand and wrapping it around the back of your waist, comfortably, feeling that side of chest open a little bit. We do offering the pearl to a dragon. So once again, this is something precious, and we offer it, and then we bring it back. So basically it's a bicep curl, but bring it back to the corner of the chest, the metal area. So following your in-breath, contracting on the out-breath. And it's not going to the gym, it's a meditation. Yes, we are working the muscle that's the bicep, but more because that lets us feel into our musculature and flesh, our earthly quality. Having said that, it's also really good for rehab, working with a weight. You're really following your breath. Shift to the other side, offering the pearl to a dragon. And then slowly bringing the pearl back, the weight back to the lower belly for a moment. And then shift the weight over onto one foot, really feel the weight go down. Move the other foot forward just a little bit. And you're there, excuse me, I'll just move that. So you're there just on the big toe. So the next movement is planting a seed. So you take your precious object as if it's a seed, you plant it in the ground. And then bring it up, let's bring it up to the heart centre. So as you're going down, because it's just your big toe there, you should be feeling like you're doing a single leg squat. So again, it's a bit like going to the gym, but we do it in a Qigong way. Following your out breath down, planting a seed. Following your in breath up, letting it come to fruition. So we add a spiritual and visual aspect to movement. Feel what that's doing to the lower belly this time in the morning, sparking the lower digestive system. The slowness of it gives it massage quality rather than cardiovascular or something like that. Let's do one more. Changing sides. And then coming back and holding at the lower belly. Feeling how that is for you. We do heaven and earth now, taking the precious object, once again descending into earth, picking up yin, earthy energy, moving up the body, turning the item, pressing it to yang realms, collecting yang, turning the hands, collecting yin, and as the item turns, just feel that kind of keying in of yin and yang meeting in the human body on the out-breath and following the in-breath. And then bringing the shape or the item back to the lower belly. We're going to do a closing movement, and the idea with these coaching videos is that you tune in to how that was, how you are, and if you want to make it part of your daily routine, if it's your medicine, then watch the video again and maybe take some notes to start to do it yourself. Separating the clouds, take the shape up, feel yin energy rising up through you, and then pass it on one side. So this is a long lever, so we're now connecting with the muscles under the shoulder blade and so on. And if it's not comfortable, then just leave it out. Or just do it with no weight or an imagined weight. Swap the weight to the other hand, take it up and away. And separating the clouds, a very spacious suggestion. Pushing away, grey, opening to spaciousness, clearing your field. Lots of ideas to play with as you do this on the out breath and then on the in breath. I'm going to put the weight down. We come back to metal in terms of immunity. This time in the morning it's good to spark some immunity. So there is a whole Qigong form called Spiral Qigong, which is done during another online class, but we just do a little bit of that. We take an in-breath as our palms face forward, feel that twisting of the muscles of the arm against the bone and the corresponding opening of the corner of the chest. This is called cloud gate and relating very much to the lungs. And then turn it the other way. Turn the hands the other way. So if you can twist them right round so they face either side of you, that's great. Forwards and away. In breath following out breath. So the idea with this spiralling movement is we follow TCM, Chinese medical theory. The kidneys moistening the lungs, and the lungs emitting a fine mist through the skin, Wei Qi, which protects us in life against pathogens and extremes of climate. Just staying for a moment with the palms facing forward. Check out how you are. See what you feel through your body, particularly in the palms of your hands. And then to close the session, you just use those magnetic palms of hands to polish yourself off, to polish yourself as if you were having an energetic shower right now. Anywhere that feels like it, you can do it randomly. And then a bit of a shake to bring yourself back into your day. And thank you for watching.